Don't you show us how it's done?
I would love to have the last word. I mean, make the last
You're gonna
word
make the
for
last
you.
word.
Right.
I'm gonna get a couple glasses. Hey guys!
Hello.
Welcome back to the Revival Social Club, where we film right here in our bar, Revival 1869 in Clayton, North Carolina. We get asked sometimes where we actually record these things, because a lot of folks think that we're doing it in some sort of pre-staged studio, and that's not true at all. This is actually in our bar. Right here, literally our bar and our back bar at Revival 1869 in Clayton, North Carolina, which is just right outside of Raleigh. Well, there it is. So if you were asking or if you were curious, now you're full of that information.
Are they really here? We are really here.
Yeah, then you can come and see us in real time.
Yes.
But anyway, who is us? I'm Mike Stojic. You're Malia Christie. And then over there behind the cameras, as always, is David. Well, he was behind the cameras, and now he's in the corner doing macaroni art.
Oh, bless
I think
it.
he's lost his mind. We've done like 8 of these episodes, so now he's losing his mind on us.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're here today. We're talking about probably one of our favorite liqueurs.
It's my favorite.
It's clearly her favorite.
It's my favorite.
But it's also a favorite of a lot of craft bartenders, especially more recently, and it's called Chartreuse. And many people may know the word Chartreuse because they might know the color Chartreuse, which it is. It's a very beautiful color. But unlike the chicken and the egg controversy, which came first, we know what came first with Chartreuse, or the color Chartreuse. It was the actual liqueur.
Well, I kind of have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
I know the answer to this, but what do you think you're more of, a saint or a sinner?
I think it's a healthy combination of both.
Oh, damn. That was good. That was really good.
I think I got a good healthy combination of the
Well,
two.
I would be a Carthusian monk because they are the ones responsible for making chartreuse. They, in fact, are the only ones who make chartreuse. Anywhere you go in the whole wide world and you're drinking chartreuse, it was made by Carthusian monks. It's always made in the Carthusian mountains, and it's made by the Carthusian monks, which is in Grenoble, France. It has been on record that they've been making it for about 600 years, and as they've always done it, true to the very, very first time it was created to this day, it is a distilled spirit that is infused with over 130 different botanicals, herbs, and plants, and that's where it gets the color from. It is not artificially colored or flavored. The most exciting part about this elixir of life, which it is referred to as the elixir of life, and just like me, it continues to age in the bottle, and very, very few spirits can say that, but chartreuse does continue to age and mature and get better in the bottle. Like me, I'm like a genie in a bottle. Wait, but I'm a monk. Sorry, that's right. I'm a monk. I'm a saint, and I'm a genie in a bottle.
So is Christina Aguilera.
She's pretty great too.
She's
She's pretty
a
great
genie
too.
in a bottle.
Yeah, absolutely. So the yellow and green chartreuse are made by these Carthusian monks, and at all times, forever, only 2 of the monks in the monastery know the exact recipe. In about 1793, when there was all the war going on in Europe, the monks were expelled from their monastery in France, but they hid a copy of it with one of the monks. I don't know if he put it in his mouth or he hid it other places you might hide things. And somehow or another, in the very secret fashion, it made its way back to the monastery, where still to this day it's a huge holy secret.
I always think it's fascinating that a lot of stuff either had some sort of medicinal quality behind it, or it was created by some sort of religion.
Yeah.
Religious people, like all the time, even like all of our a lot of your original bourbons, founded by reverends and different things. So it's always fascinating to me. One of the cocktails we're going to be showing you how to make today is also very unique, like chartreuse. So it really plays on some of the really interesting flavor profiles that the chartreuse is going to offer. And for this particular cocktail, we're using the Green Chartreuse because that's how it's made, how the last word is made. And so if you were curious, we're actually talking about the last word. So it was created in the athletic club, or the Detroit Athletics Club in 1916. And at the time, it was the most expensive drink on the menu. The cocktail cost 35 cents. It was the most expensive cocktail because of the Green Chartreuse, because they were getting it from France. And it was literally 35 cents.
I forgot my wallet.
I forgot my checkbook.
I forgot my checkbook.
Mind if I pay you in change?
Change?
So it was the most expensive drink, and it was one of the favorites of a vaudeville performer by the name of Frank Fogarty, who went by also known as the Dublin Minstrel. So imagine he was presented like, I'm the Dublin Minstrel, I'll have another last word. Hello everyone, the Dublin Minstrel, Frank Fogarty. That's totally how he did.
He pranced.
Probably. And then he's like, I'll take a Green Chartreuse.
Yeah, I'd like to drink with some
the
Green
bartender was like,
Chartreuse.
I'll tell you what, you're an interesting cat. Let's do this whole thing, and made this cocktail. So I hinted towards this idea of the specs, different parts. Yeah. So this is 4 equal parts. Mm-hmm. That's all you got to remember. Of 4 different things, 4 equal parts, and you create this amazing cocktail known as the last word. From there, it kind of got lost. So it's also had a unique thing too. So it got lost. During Prohibition era, was lost. In 1951, Ted Saucier, I believe is how you say it. Saucier wrote a book called Bottoms Up. He included it in that book. It was popular for a time or two. Right. Kind of lost again, fell out of fashion until 2004, where Murray Stenson, I believe his name was Stenson. Murray Stenson of the Zigzag Cafe up in Seattle really brought the last word back, made it popular in 2004, and ever since then, you're going to find the last word on every craft cocktails classic bar menu because it truly is a classic cocktail and it's pretty fantastic.
Yep.
So with that, why don't we make one, Malia? Let's get the 4 parts out. Show these nice folks at home how to make a last word.
I want to have the last word though.
You already said that, and you always do.
Okay.
It's always the last word.
Just making sure. Last word. Me.
All right. So how are we starting? All right, guys. Now it's time to make a last word. Since you wanted the last word, why don't you show us how it's done?
I would love to have the last word. I mean, make the last word
make the
for
last
you.
Word.
Right.
I'm going to get a couple glasses.
So, as Mike mentioned, that it's equal parts. So 3/4 of an ounce, 3/4 of an ounce, 3/4 of an ounce, 3/4 of an ounce of the ingredients that we're going to show you right now. And as Mike, is going to kind of tell you, there's a really awesome reason that this cocktail is so good, because these 4 ingredients, which may or may not seem like they would go together, just match perfectly. So as I mix our 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, say that 4 times fast.
I just say equal parts.
Well, they need to know how many parts.
If you say 3/4 equal parts 4 times.
3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. I like that.
Me, an
So
intellectual says.
we're using Sutler's Gin. It's an awesome, very botanical gin, and it's from here in North Carolina. We really love these guys. It's out of Winston-Salem, and it goes really great with all the botanicals in the Green Chartreuse. So 3/4 of an ounce of that.
Up in Winston-Salem, that's old Scott Sanborn's place.
Scott Sanborn. Hey,
Great
Scott.
guy. Hey,
how
Scott.
you doing? How you doing?
Old Scott Sanborn.
How you doing? How you momming them?
He's fantastic. But the other thing, too, is you can use any gin you want. I mean, really, and that's what I think is really unique about the last word is, 3 of the 4 ingredients are pretty much going to remain consistent.
Yep.
Right? Unless you're getting a different maraschino liqueur, because really it just needs to be a maraschino liqueur. Luxardo happens to be kind of the major player in the world, but there are others. But for the most part, the only thing that's really going to change the last word is the type of gin you use, because there's a huge spectrum. Mm-hmm. It's more like a wagon wheel, because you have some that are more junipery, some that are more citrusy, some that are more, they have a lavender forward, some are more floral. So you have all these different styles of gins, and that's going to significantly impact the flavor of the last word, as you make it.
Speaking of how to pronounce things, like junipery.
Yeah, junipery.
Okay.
That's a
then
flavor.
There's also going to be the cherry liqueur, which is Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. Some people like to say maraschino.
I think no matter how you
believe-
say it, people are going to know what
People
you're asking
know.
for.
Yeah.
Maraschino.
But this
They get
is
it.
Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. 3/4 of an ounce. I feel like we've drilled that home 100 times.
The other thing too is what makes this drink so fascinating is the fact that it's hitting on all these unique flavor profiles. You get the botanicals, the 130 different botanicals in the chartreuse. Malia's right now squeezing fresh lemon juice. Fresh lime juice. The different styles of gin, and then obviously the Luxardo that we're using in there too. So with all those different flavors, you're getting something that's strong, that's sweet, that's got some sourness to it, that's also a little bit pungent. And then at the end of the day, it's extremely refreshing. And then because of that, it's got a sharpness to it, which also more or less cleanses the palate. Right. So it doesn't really linger for a long time like certain drinks does. It's just very refreshing and crisp, and man, it's perfect in a lot of ways.
That's why
fantastic.
I'm so in love with chartreuse. It's just perfect, and this cocktail is too. So we've got our 4 ingredients, 3/4 of an ounce of each. We're gonna throw some ice in our tin. I won't drive it home so much this time because I pretty much do it in every episode, but I will just throw out there. Remember, you want clean, clear, good ice, not something that's just been sitting next to the fish sticks in the freezer, or your automatic ice machine is totally fine too. But you're gonna put your 4 ingredients into your shaker, ice it really well, and then create the seal. When you close your tins, you always want to make a spine here, and then hold your finger real tight, give it a good whack. Hold your finger up against the spine, and then give it a really good shake. It's very important that the last word be extremely chilled. So you're going to shake this one just a little bit longer than you would shake another shaken citrus cocktail. It's still happening. Still going, guys.
So the secret to shaking, if you can hear me over the noise, is you want to shake it very vigorously. Very vigorously. A lot of times I like to say, shake it like you're mad at it. And you really want them contents banging around. Mix it with the ice. Oh, look how the frostiness right there. Make a little smiley face.
Yeah, that's when you know it's about right. Finger on the spine, like I said, and then not directly across because you're going to get the pop back and forth, but closer to your thumb. Like, again, this is like you're taking it out on someone. You unseal it, get all your ingredients. Then, with your Hawthorne strainer, the Hawthorne strainer helps hold back ice, pretty much pieces of ice, but then you're going to want to double strain, so you use your fine strainer. That keeps back any pieces of citrus or smaller pieces of ice that may have gotten through. Into a coupe glass. And then finally you'll finish it off with a really nice cocktail cherry. Not a maraschino cherry. You can make your own bourbon cherries, which we can probably show you in another episode, or you can buy something like a Luxardo Maraschino cherry and finish it off like so. And so there you have it. The last word, it's got that beautiful, subtle green chartreuse color, and the flavor definitely comes through, and it's just a holy quadruplet cocktail for you. So there we go.
That's
the
it.
last word.
And it's just beautiful. All right, guys, that's the end of our Chartreuse Last Word episode. We hope you really enjoyed it. And a lot of these, actually all of these ingredients are fairly easy to find at your local liquor store. And I don't think you can really go wrong on any of them. So this is one where I would say definitely give it a shot. Go out there and and you know, buy this stuff and make it, because I would be very surprised if you don't like this.
It's my favorite.
It's her favorite.
Okay.
And it's an amazing drink year round too. I mean, drink it when it's hot outside, it's very refreshing. Drink it when it's cold because it warms you up.
Yes.
And it's beautiful. It's amazing. So if you like what you saw and you're enjoying us and Revival 1869, please click the link below. It'll take you to our website where you can find a lot of stuff about what we do here and more information about some of the cocktail products like Barfly, which we sell on our store, along with our house-made syrups and some really fun stuff. We sell stuff like glassware and Glencairns and things like that, and you'll find more information about that there. Give us a like on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, like and subscribe, and we put out new videos every week, so look for those on Thursday. And if you do subscribe, you'll get a nice little reminder telling you to tune in, and you know, we all win.
Yeah, and I just want
Get the
to
last
finish with, I got the last word. Okay.
Bye.
Say how we are.
Bye.